Hey everybody, my name is Brandon from the StocksNews.com, and today I want to talk about Amazon stock, ticker symbol AMZN. What I want to do first is I want to go into Google, talk about the news surrounding Amazon stock, and talk about the news surrounding Jeff Bezos, and then I want to go into the earnings report to talk about how Amazon is doing as a business, and then I want to go into the trading charts to see if we can find a level or two to buy Amazon stock if we want to buy Amazon stock. So now let's get started. So here we are in Google, and here's a one-day look at Amazon's chart here. And as you can see here today, we sold off just about 2%, and really that could be due because of the news that came out of Amazon yesterday, which is that Jeff Bezos is stepping down as CEO, and this guy named Andy Jassy is going to be taking his place. So to be clear, Jeff Bezos announced that he will be stepping down, but he will be the chair of Amazon's executive board here. But it is huge news, and it will be very interesting to see how Amazon stock will react as we get closer to the end of the third quarter when Bezos officially steps down. However, when the captain of the ship steps down, it creates uncertainty, and that is the main reason why we could be some downside risk for Amazon stock. However, keep in mind here that Bezos will always probably be less than a phone call away, as he is still the chair of the executive board. So, the real question I want to ask here is, who is this Andy Jassy guy? Well, from reading a bunch of boring articles, it sounds like Jassy was Bezos' right-hand man for like 25 years, and it sounds like Wall Street expected Jassy to take over when the time came. The main point I want to make here when talking about Jassy is that there are reports that he was actually the guy to come up with the idea of Amazon Web Services and is now currently the head of AWS. By bringing in Jassy, Amazon is also likely making a statement that AWS will be an integral part of Amazon's future. This is key because with a company who has a high PE ratio like Amazon, we're at like a nice 79, investors want to be able to see areas where Amazon can grow. AWS is one of the key places where Amazon can really grow its business, and the business of AWS also has pretty high margins compared to Amazon's core business. So, full information here, I am in a graduate program for data science at Harvard University's Extension School. I can tell you that, at least from my experience, when us nerds are thinking about a company that we want to use when we're doing some nerdy cloud computing stuff, the choices of companies to choose from are really Amazon, and in the close third place is Amazon. AWS really has a good product, and right now AWS is really leading in the cloud computing market, way ahead of Microsoft and Google. People actually pay a premium to use AWS, and I know that because I use AWS to host my website, thestockstudents.com. So I am paying a premium, and you guys know me by now, I'm pretty cheap, and Amazon Web Service is pretty expensive, but I'm willing to pay the extra dollar because AWS is such a good product to do whatever nerdy stuff I want to do. By growing this high margin business, AWS can really help the overall Amazon continue to grow, and this is what a lot of investors are looking for. Only time will tell how Jassy will do once he starts in the third quarter, but I think Jassy is definitely worth giving a chance. I think if we see any weakness of the stock price as we approach the end of Bezos' term, I think it's a buying opportunity. So now that we've covered the main news around Jeff Bezos and Andy Jassy, and that I've bored you with my personal stories about data science at Harvard University's Extension School, now let's head on over to the earnings report to see how Amazon is doing as a business. And, obviously, Amazon is doing great as a business. We all know that. But by looking at the earnings report, we can see exactly how good and compare it to how Amazon was doing last year. So here we are in Amazon's most recent earnings report, and here we are on the consolidated statement of operations for the most recent quarter ending on December 31st, 2020, and we get a nice year-over-year view with 2019. So as we look through the whole earnings report here, we see that Amazon is really growing nicely year-over-year, as expected. If we look at net product sales and net services sales, we are seeing tremendous growth, almost 43% year-over-year, if my math is right. But that's not even the impressive thing for me here. The impressive thing is that even as we are growing 43% year-over-year, we are keeping the same operating margins. What that basically means is that these operating expenses are still consistent in the same ratios as they were a year ago, which allows us to keep the same proportion of operating income. And this normally doesn't happen when you are growing 43% year over year. The reason for that is because there will be inefficiencies in every process. And as you scale up, your business, those inefficiencies play a larger and larger role, which will limit your operating income here. But for Amazon, what is really impressive to me is that even though they are growing 43% year over year, we actually see that they are able to maintain and actually even improve slightly their operating margins year over year. To me, this is really impressive, and it shows that Amazon is working like a well-oiled machine with not a lot of inefficiencies, as Amazon should. This is really bullish for Amazon and gives me confidence that even if they keep growing, they will be able to preserve these efficiencies to maintain their margins. The next thing I want to point out here is Amazon Web Service and the cloud computing, which I pulled up in this tab here because it's in a different segment of the earnings report, and this section is called the segment information section. What this section of the earnings report is doing is that it's just breaking down the data from the earnings report to more interesting pieces. So we see that we can analyze North American data or international data, but what I really want to talk about is this AWS data here. And what I want to do again is point out that AWS is growing at its net sales, almost 30% year over year if my quick math is right here. This is what a lot of analysts and investors want to see, because cloud computing will be a very strong driver for growth in the years to come, not just for Amazon, but for other companies as well. Now, I've already talked about AWS a lot, and I've already bored you guys with my personal stories, so that's all I'm going to talk about for AWS today. So now that we've gone over the boring earnings report here, now let's head on over to the trading charts to see if there's a level or two to buy Amazon stock if we want to buy Amazon stock. So here we are on Amazon's trading charts here, and as we can see, we have been stuck in the sideways purgatory ever since like August and September here. If we look over in November here, we can see that we actually tighten up this range a little bit. So now we have this support level around this 3080 level, and the resistance level up at around 3350, 3400 here. And as you can see, today we poked our head up above the resistance level, but then we dropped down right back into our range here. Because of that, I think that we will still be stuck in the sideways land here for a little bit, unless we get some strong momentum and price action that lifts the whole stock market up and out. Now, you may ask, what kind of news would that be to be able to raise all of the economy? And there are a couple things that could do it, but for me, I think the biggest thing that could cause a rise of all the stocks is stimulus checks. If the United States government actually does something for once and gets a substantial check to its citizens, then I expect a majority of the stocks to rise, and I believe that Amazon could be one of these stocks that could go up and out of this range here. However, because even the earnings report wasn't enough to bring Amazon up and out of this range, and we don't have a stimulus check yet, I think that we will still be stuck in the sideways range for the time being. A lot of people actually don't like this, but honestly, I get excited when I see a quality company like Amazon trade like this. The reason is because I can pick up the stock down here at the support level below 3100 and then trade up to the resistance level of 3300, 3400 and make a cool, 8, 9, 10% profit. The reason why I like stocks trading in the range is because this support level is kind of like my guide that helps me predict future price actions. Now, obviously, sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes it crashes through the support level and down further. But with a stock like Amazon, I'm okay with holding the bag at a resistance level here because I know sooner or later the stock will likely come back up and I will likely be able to make a profit from it. Of course, that's not a guarantee. Amazon stock could keep breaking the support level and keep going down and down and down. But, I don't see that happening. So if I wanted to pick up Amazon stock, I would like to pick it up here around the support level below 3100, because I'm cheap and because Amazon has already taken enough of my money through AWS. Now that we've talked about the major levels here, let's talk about the other major indicators, which is the MACD here and the RSI, which are both measures of momentum. For the MACD and the RSI, we can see that we're really just trudging along sideways here, and there's not really big swings in amplitude. If there were big swings in amplitude, then that would be able to tell me something more. However, because we're just humming along slightly here, it's not really telling me anything. And the RSI is the same. We're just hanging out in this range here where we're neither overbought nor oversold. So neither the MACD or the RSI is really telling me anything important right now. So that was my review on Amazon stock. Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section down below. If you have any questions or if you caught any mistakes, also drop me a comment down below. If you liked the video, please like the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.